What's up? How
Oh
are
my
you?
God. I think the last time I saw you, we were in New York eating like gold chicken wings.
Oh yeah, we had the gold. Where I forgot what that place was
Ainsworth.
called. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
We
so
were at the
good.
Ainsworth. Okay, so like I said, this is Colton Underwood. Make sure to follow him. He was our bachelor. We love, and he has just gotten over coronavirus. I'm completely thrown. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing so much better. I was full recovery now, and it was a crazy few weeks, but much better now.
I mean, you look great.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm back
I
to
mean,
feeling like my normal self.
back to feeling like yourself. So
Yeah,
I have to ask a few questions just because I know a lot of us are pretty uninformed about like what how you're feeling when it happens and all this stuff. So, um, when you were diagnosed, like, did you know that you had it, or was it just like you were having random symptoms? And like, what were the symptoms?
to be honest with you, I thought I just had the flu at first, and then one night at like 4 a.m., I woke up and my bed was soaking wet from sweating, and
Mm,
I was gasping for air after walking to the bathroom, and that's when I sort of knew. I checked pretty much every box off that supposedly Corona was.
right.
Um, so the next morning, I called and took a few times to get through to a doctor who actually had tests, and I ended up driving down to Orange County to get it, and I got very lucky to be diagnosed
For sure.
properly, because at the time there was a shortage of tests too, and I think there still is, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought it was important to get tested so I knew what I was up against. And I mean, it's so easy to assume one thing, but there's so many things still going around. I think that's also something people need to keep in mind, is there's still other sicknesses, there's still other viruses and bacteria and stuff going out, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's crazy.
Stay the fuck home. Like, you got to
Yeah,
stay home, everybody.
yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
just like simply it. Um,
Yep.
so you were in isolation the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
I have to say that I know I messaged you about this, but I think that you taking this seriously was such obviously not that you had like much of a choice, but there have been people that haven't, and I love that you took this so seriously, stayed in isolation. It was such a good example showing all
yeah.
of us that like we need to stay home even if we're not infected. So I like cheers to you on that.
Thank you. No, it was so. The reason I brought it up too is because it was so confusing. You look at the media, and there's, depending on what news channel you watch, depending on what social media feed you're on, you're hearing so many different things about what the virus is, who it affects, what you should do. Even our CDC and our WHO, like they couldn't agree on the same plan. So it's like for people going through this, I could see why it could be so confusing. And
Hmm.
I was practicing social distancing. I still was going for walks early on,
Yeah.
and but I wouldn't come close to anybody. I was wearing a mask and gloves at times too. So I just thought it was important to share with people that I'm a young guy who statistically wasn't supposed to get severe symptoms that early on. We now know it's much different, but I wanted to share and sort of use a platform to hopefully preach, because at the time actually that I got tested positive, there was a kid in Florida who went viral for being like, if I get corona, I get corona, I'm partying.
Oh,
I'm
we
like,
posted about him.
I was like, dude, you're an idiot. Come
I,
on, man. I was like, I'm literally gasping for air right now, and you're over there in Florida partying. It's kind of like, it's crazy.
I mean, I'm also averaging like 100 steps a day. So by the
Yeah.
time this quarantine's over, I'm going to be gasping for air walking to the
That might be true for all of us.
I know. But how did you pass your isolation time? Like, were you playing on your phone, or like what did you do?
During my most symptomatic days, I was sleeping 15, 16 hours a day. So I was sleeping and trying to recover.
Oh
It was
my
gnarly.
God.
But other than that, I actually use this time to catch up with people and message people back that I might have put on red. You know what I mean? Like, not in a rude
Oh
way, but like
yeah.
you
Oh
get
yes.
busy and you forgot. So like I made phone calls that I was long overdue.
We can all relate to that.
I also played video games, which was a breath of fresh air.
Okay, but which one?
Oh, I'm like a full-on nerd. I was playing Smite. I have Clash of Clans, and then Cass and I. Look at this. Cass and I actually got these Nintendo Switches.
Yo, hold on. I
So
haven't. Wait, I'm showing you.
yeah, so we're excited for those.
I got my Nintendo Switch too.
Yes.
I've been playing Pokemon.
Oh, I'm huge on Pokemon.
Wait,
But
Sword
we
or
have Smash
Shield?
Brothers and Mario Party or Mario Kart right now. So,
That's awesome.
anyway, don't know where else I was going with that, but
I know we like went
it's
on a
sort of
whole
been
video game
nice.
tangent.
It's sort of been nice, though, to just sit and do nothing. I think there's also peace in not being busy because I'm one of those that like to be like fake busy. If I'm not busy, I like to try to keep myself
For
busy.
sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, so if you had any sort of advice for young people, like, going through all of this right now, whether they're infected or not,
Yeah.
what would you say?
I
I mean,
would
other than like
say,
obviously like stay home, but
yeah, I would say it can be frustrating. Like, I think it's okay to acknowledge all the emotions you're having, whether you're scared, anxious, nervous, frustrated. Maybe some students are excited that they don't have school anymore. I don't know. I think it's just cool to check in with yourself and be present and just be like,
definitely,
cool. Like if you're emotional, be emotional. Like just own whatever you're in and just know that this isn't going to be forever. It's temporary,
definitely,
and we will get back to a normal life. You know.
for sure. Was Cassie like the best caretaker ever? I can only
Oh,
imagine.
Cass was the best nurse, and I was the worst patient. I can full on admit that.
Okay, so in my experience in general, guys are so dramatic when it comes to being sick anyways. Like
Yeah.
me and like a boyfriend could both have like, just a sinus infection or something like simple, and it is like full drama on the guy's side.
Yeah. No. It's crazy because I think guys have egos. Like even when we're sick, we just like we're like sort of our egos hurt that we're experiencing this and going through it. So I don't know. I don't. You guys are just a superior species to us.
Okay, so now I want to ask you about your book. I'm
Yeah.
so excited about this. I saw you announce it a while ago. It was a while ago when you announced it, right?
Yeah.
I
I
think the
announced it a few
season,
months ago.
yeah, it's been a bit. I'm very excited about this. So like tell us about your book and like why you wrote it and what inspired you to write it.
Um, for me, I think writing the book was a way to feel like I had ownership of my life back and put myself back in the driver's seat. I knew
Well,
what I was signing up
actually,
for reality
tell us what your
TV.
book, tell us about your book first. I forgot I should have asked you
Oh,
that in
okay.
general.
No, yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
So
B.
it's called The First Time. And it's about basically it's a memoir, which is sort of weird that I'm 28 and have a memoir, but it's about like my childhood, high school, growing up, going through college, um, playing football, what that did to me. Obviously, it has Bachelor stuff behind the scenes and then
Yeah.
post Bachelor show that maybe not a lot of people realize. So yeah, I was very excited to have it come out.
Yeah, I mean, I first of all, the cover's amazing.
Thank
That
you.
was the first thing. That was the first thing I saw, and I was like, "That's absolutely genius." If you haven't seen the cover
Yeah,
of his book, it's him jumping over the fence, and if you don't know what the fence is, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
you should know. It's amazing. I'm very excited about it. Is it out yet?
yeah. It is. It's out everywhere right now. Amazon. It's
Okay,
been
okay,
doing
okay.
well. Barnes and Nobles. If you're out at Target, I'm not telling people to go to Target, but if you're at Target shopping for the essentials and you want to throw it in your cart, go for it. It's there as well. So
Definitely.
yeah.
Okay, so what else has been going on in your life? I know has Cassie's family been all right? Are you still staying with them? You guys are still in the same place?
Yeah, well, right now I'm definitely not leaving because although I'm 100% healed, I'm still working with the doctors here in the Orange County area on how I could donate blood and plasma to help out for research
Right.
purposes. And then her family, fortunately, is negative for COVID, so they stayed healthy the whole entire time.
Yay. That's
Yeah, which
great.
was great because, they practiced they sort of like social distance themselves from me in the house, which is good during my isolation period. So it
I
was
know.
smart
I
of them.
mean, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
going back to the blood and plasma donation.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of us don't really know like a lot about that. So if you want to give us some info on that, that would be awesome.
For the blood and plasma.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's still a lot of research that needs to go into it. I know I have to clear 2 more tests before I go fully into it, just
Hmm.
because there's not a ton of research about all of this right now. But essentially, I took a test and it showed that I have the antibodies now to fight. My body can actually formulate a way to fight off the coronavirus. So
Hmm.
what they'll probably do, and I'm not a medical professional by any means,
You're
is
not?
they'll take those. I have to disclose it though, because
I
when
know,
I
I know.
announced when I announced my medications that I was on, some people were really happy that I did, and other people lost their mind and like were threatening me with things. And I was like, guys, I'm just telling you what
Oh,
works for me.
no.
So yeah, I think they're going to use my antibodies to help other people. I hope so. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I would
Yep.
love to have Colton antibodies,
Yeah.
so let's go.
Yep. Start injecting everybody.
I know, to start injecting everybody.
Yeah.
So but how is I know we can definitely read this in your book, but I know we have like just a few more minutes.
Yep.
How has everything been going like past Bachelor life? Like, are you glad you did it? Like, are you enjoying the life sort of? I know you're not out of the spotlight because of obvious like reasons,
Yeah.
but how is it?
It's been good. It's been a challenge. I openly admit in the book too. There's been things that, I obviously knew what I was getting myself into, but also I didn't know how it was going to affect me. So
Right.
I've been sort of managing, trying to figure out, what I like, what I don't like, what I can do to possibly help. And the book helped definitely by me just sort of expressing myself in a way that I haven't before. But a good way too is or in a good way, the book is sort of my closing chapter for the Bachelor franchise. Once you're the Bachelor and once you're in a happy relationship, there's not much more you can do within that
Right.
franchise. So it's good for me to sort of close that chapter and move on. And I'm excited to see what's next. I've had some exciting conversations, some really cool opportunities come my way. So I can't wait to get into it.
Definitely. I mean, I love, to be honest, I love seeing you and Cassie and like watching you guys develop your relationship outside of the show and seeing
Yes.
how like genuine and real it is. It's not just genuine and real from this whole
Yeah.
season, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
That things like that can actually, relationships like that can actually happen out through the show because if you guys don't know, I host our Bachelor podcast and I talk about The Bachelor all the time, which is how Colton and I met. And
Yeah.
I
Do you
think
remember? Do you remember the first season I was on, and I think it was the Betches account made a meme of me, and I didn't know how to take it because I wasn't used to that. They like made a joke, and I was like, "Oh boy, like what am I getting myself into?"
oh yeah, but that's like, I mean, if you're not, I feel like the whole like live tweeting and live memeing and stuff has become such a culture around the show that if you're not
Yeah,
in on it as it's happening, you're behind. That's the best,
yeah,
that's the best part of the show. And I think that's why people watch it and why people engage and, listen to all the podcasts and follow all these accounts and follow
yeah.
all the Bachelor peoples because they want to be a part of the conversation. And I think that's what keeps people watching the show is the being able to
Oh,
like laugh at it and
a
have
hundred
fun with
percent.
it.
It's so crazy. I didn't even watch Peter's season, but I kept up with it because I had a Twitter and Instagram account, so I
Oh
knew
yeah,
sort of what was
Twitter.
going on at all times.
Twitter's a whole different world during The Bachelor.
Oh, it's crazy. It's
It
literally
really, it really,
it
really
trends
is.
every Monday.
Colton, thank you so, so much for joining us. I'm
Yeah,
really glad that you're feeling better. Tell Cassie and her family that the whole Betches crew and everybody who's watching right now said hi.
I will.
But
And
truly,
I love
thank
what
you
you
for
guys are
joining
doing
us.
too to support the coronavirus and using your platform for good. So thank you so much for that. And thanks
Definitely.
for having me on.
Thank you so much, Colton. I'll see
All right.
you.
I'll see you guys.
Bye.